Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created with my May 2020 Counterfeit Kit Challenge Kit. Now this layout will be titled Elementary Play Day, and the photos are of my granddaughter at the end of grade 2 in 2014. The papers that I'm pulling out are from the kit that I created for May, and it is a piece of green cardstock, and I'm using this heart paper um, and to create a focal point in the background. And there's nothing sappy or lovey-dovey about this layout. It's just that I love the kid, and I wanted to signify that by having the hearts. And so I cut the paper a little bit too small. So the square that I had in the background, I cut it a little too small, and so I ended up cutting it and creating a longer center focus. And here I've got a scrap of paper that says today on it, and then that piece that I punched a border with one of my Fiskars borders. I think it's the notebook edge. Anywho, so I'm putting that along there, and I'm going to go through and glue everything down here in just a second. Yeah, I love how this sketch or how this layout came together. And I believe I found the sketch over on Pinterest, or it may even be a page map sketch. Regardless, it's one that, I always start with a sketch when I'm creating a layout. And that's something that I've done for 100 years. When I first started scrapbooking, it would take me forever to get a layout done because I would struggle with where to place my photos, where to place my embellishments, that kind of thing. And so over the course of time, I started using sketches, and it helped with that. It helped with the photo placement as well as the embellishment clusters. And so I have continued to use sketches over the course of my lifetime in scrapbooking. And so it's one of those things that you can start with a sketch, and I think it makes things go together really, really quickly and efficiently for me. Initially, when you start using sketches, I think it takes a little bit of time to get used to using sketches, and you don't necessarily have to follow along exactly, because when I first started using sketches, I followed along exactly. Oh, sorry, here's a little candid of my pup before she went to the groomer. She likes to get up, both my pups do. They like to get up on my table and snoop around to see what I'm doing up there, that I have my back turned to them and all of my attention towards the desk. They want to know what's going on. So occasionally I'll let them get up there and snoop around. Um, yeah, this one, that was Matilda. She will stay pressed up next to me as long as she's on the table. She very seldom ever, if ever, wanders away from me. She wants to stay in contact with me. My other one, Agatha, she will be all over the place. Um, so yeah, when I first started using sketches, I was using the Creating Keepsake sketches that came in their magazine every month, the Becky Higgins ones. Fell in love with using that whole sketch process then. And a lot of times she would always show an example layout of uh, a sketch. She would show the sketch and then a layout or two or three that were made using that sketch, showing different variations that whoever created them might have made. And so initially I would follow along exactly, even to the point of picking the same shades of paper, the same types of embellishments, that kind of thing. And then I found, a little bit later, I found page maps. And I fell in love with page maps because it shows you where the embellishment clusters are, where the sketches or where the photos go, all of that jazz. But it leaves a lot to you to make decisions. And then I found Scrapbook Generation and Allison Davis. And of course, fell in love. Not only do they give you um, where everything goes, the photos and the embellishments and the papers and everything, but they give you a breakdown of, you should use a small pattern, you should use a large pattern, you should use a whatever, a stripe piece. Yeah. So I fell in love with that. But then I got to the point where I was depending on that. And so I kind of stepped away from their sketches for a long time, probably about a year, year and a half. And then I have I've gone back and forth to them over the years, and they are a standard at my house. Page maps, Allison Davis or sketchbook generations, they are the norm for me to use. But I also use a lot from Pinterest, and that may be where this one was from. It may be I don't think it was a scrapbook generation, but it may be a page maps, or it could have been just from Pinterest. Sorry, I didn't keep up as I was making it. So yeah, here I'm laying down some washi tape. I've got everything situated like I want on the layout. And I put things down and I take things away the entire time I'm working on this layout. I'll leave them lay there to see, okay, am I going to use it here? Do I like it here? How am I going to use that? One of the things that happens here is I decided that with the black washi tape and the green and turquoise washi tape, it was just too much at the top. And so I needed something to buffer it. And so I added the pink. And so the black will go right over the top of those. So you get a sliver of the pink and a sliver of the blue and green washi tape. But having the blue green and then the black washi tape together at the top was just too much. It was too heavy for the top. I think it's more balanced now with the black that's along the bottom of the page. And that's just something, when you find balance in a layout, it's one of those things that you learn about over time by watching different designers or different creators do their sketches or their layouts. I can't explain it necessarily. I just know when I find it, I find it. My eye can see the balance of things. But to be able to explain it to you why there's a balance, yeah, I know there's some scientific logic to it, but I don't have a recall of what it is. Chamel was always really good about doing that from her 2 peas in a bucket days. Anywho, so here I am. I'm adding a couple of tags. Initially, I was going to put them at the top, and then I changed my mind. I'm going to put them down at the bottom. And it's just as a grounding element to break that solid black up. I was thinking I was going to add the black label only and do some journaling in a white pen for the date, and then I opted not to. I opted to put the red color or rose color on top of that. Found this little embellishment sticker here. Super cute, so I'm going to use that. I'll go through all these different embellishments and kind of pick and pull what I think I might want to use. And you can see as I try things out, I might leave some of them there for a little bit and go on and do other things, and then come back and take them off. It's just a process that I go through. Not everybody goes through it, We all do our own thing. Sometimes we pull the embellishments and we know every single embellishment we're going to use on a layout before we ever start gluing things down. And sometimes I do that. But sometimes I do it just like this by feel. I just pull things together and know when it feels right, I use it. I had a question a couple of days ago about when I put my layouts together, if I pre-plan or how I narrow my selections down. For me, that's what my monthly kit is all about. It's narrowing my choices because I have a large scrapbook room and it's full of stuff. And so rather than try and go through and work on one page and have all of the options for my entire room, I limit it by creating a monthly kit. That's where my choices are narrowed down. Once I have those choices narrowed down, then I can just whip out the layouts rather quickly. So I hope that that is a good response for that. It's just one of those things that I do. Yeah, I've been putting kits together since I found the Counterfeit Kit Challenge blog. And that was, I think, back in the 2Ps days. Someone mentioned it from there. And yeah, Shamel, I think, did a class on 2Ps on a video there about how to put a kit together and how to use it. And that was my first ever exposure to making my own kit and creating with it. And from there, it just blossomed into a love of creating my own kits. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Anywho, so I'm getting close to the end here. I'm just looking through the rest of my stuff, seeing what else I want to use. If I want to use anything else to like create my journaling, or I know I have that big block there and I was going to put an embellishment on top of it, but then I opted not to. I thought, well, I'll do my journaling on there. So yeah, I'm getting closer to the end, but I'm not quite there yet. Yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by today and watching my videos. I love to share in the creative process, and I'm inspired by so many people, and I hope that when I share my layouts, it inspires you. I'm going to lose the very end of the footage here where I put on my finishing touches, all the little embellishments, but I do have a photo at the end, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys being around, watching my videos, and I love it when you flip me a thumbs up. That means you are getting some inspiration out of what I do. So here's the finished layout in its entirety. And I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.